Welcome back to Music Banter. I am your host, Ben Holkman. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most prominent artists of at least my generation, Ed Sheeran. Now, before we get into this video, I just wanted to clear some up. I was going to live stream my reaction to Slime Language 2 on Friday. That was my plan. However, plan didn't come to fruition because YouTube was like, you have to wait 24 hours to live stream, which I didn't know of before, and I should have checked. But I don't know. I did live streams on Backseat Banter, and I didn't have to do that, so it was kind of odd. But let's get right into this video. Ed Sheeran is one of the most polarizing figures in music right now. He hasn't put anything out album-wise until all the way back since 2017 with the deluxe album, deluxe version of Vision, I should say, of Division. Division, I should say. He did put out a single called Afterglow. It did pretty well. I'm just looking on Spotify because that's what I use. It did pretty well. Now, one of the main problems I have with him is number 6, but we'll get to that in a little bit. To me, Ed Sheeran is what you get when you try and make an acoustic guy famous. When you try and make a guy that's so soulful and acoustic famous. In 2011, he put out two things. He put out number 5 collaboration project, which predated number 6 collaborations project. Of course, I didn't listen to number 5 yet. It's got JME, which I didn't expect, and P Money, and yeah, none of these guys I expect to be on a to be on an Ed Sheeran album. But yeah, and then he puts out Plus, which Plus has a lot of bangers on it. It's got a lot of great songs. I mean, if you want to just go through some of the songs I know off the top of my head, The A Team, Lego House. I used to hate Lego House. Um, it's got a bunch of great songs on there. It's a good album. It's a good acoustic album. It's very soulful. It's very full of like love and passion. And then you have multiplication. Is it multiplication? Is that what it's called? Or is it multiply? I'm gonna guess it's multiply. Which it came out in 2014 and was everywhere. I could still remember hearing Sing, Don't, Nina, not Nina. Nina's one of my favorite songs of the album. Photograph. All of those songs. Thinking Out Loud is on this album. So it was everywhere. It was everywhere. But he still kind of kept his roots a little bit. And then you have Division. Then you have Division, which he's like, okay, you give this guy an unlimited budget to make every song on the album chart. Every song on the album I got on the Hot 100. That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. And if we just want to go through it, it has Castle on the Hill, Perfect, Shape of You. It has. I'm looking at it now. It has like so many songs that are just like it's almost baffling at this point where all these songs I've heard, because not even voluntarily, involuntarily, because they've all been on the radio. But he's been kind of quiet. Now, not to say that Division's bad. I'm not saying Division's bad. I think Division's pretty good. Just as I'm a pop standard. To me, it hurts to hear when the main draw of him was his acoustic style, and the main draw was his soulful music, where you just have this sort of thin layered pop song. I mean, yeah, yes, there are some album cuts. I'll agree. There are some album cuts on some of these some of these albums that are very soulful. Tenerife Seas, again, I told you, one of my favorite ones. But at this point, it feels stupid. Like, it feels like stupid because he's gonna come out with another album soon, I would suggest, because he did put out a single. So I'm gonna guess he's gonna come out with another album around either this year or next year. Which, if it comes out before I'm not away, I will definitely be listening to and kind of giving my opinion on. But to me, it was just so, like, not even upsetting. It was disappointing almost. You don't get to see a lot of acoustic people in mainstream anymore, and to see what he did on Plus, even I didn't even like Lego House. I thought it was dumb. But for a song like The A Team, which is a song I still listen to now, 10 years later, for that to all change to now being every song has to sound like it was just made by DJ Khaled in the in the sense that it was just made by a factory that just, all right, this is gonna chart, this one's gonna get number one, this one's gonna get number one. And yes, you can chalk it up to it's his building of his group, and it's his building of his audience, and you can 100% say that, and I wouldn't blame you. But to me, it's also the fact of he's, yes, there are parts of songs that you can hear because, okay, he's gonna be more, he's gonna be better, he's gonna be this, he's gonna be that, and then he goes into like, I don't know, here, and then it goes into like Shape of You, which to me, Shape of You doesn't add anything that we didn't know from Mr. Sheeran. Like Shape of You to me is so mind-numbingly frustrating that because not only since it's been beaten into my conscience because everyone played that everywhere. It was annoying. It's got over 1 billion. I think it's like the most watched video on YouTube. It's got 2 billion streams on Spotify. 2 billion. How? You know what I mean? It just comes to the point where it's just tiring to hear. It really truly is. It's just tiring to listen to at times. And yes, with Afterglow, he was kind of going back to the acoustic, him and the guitar kind of feel, which drew everyone in. And it just seems like he's duped us all. You know, it wasn't that he was just. And look, this dude can maybe be like an incredible artist, and I'm sure he is. I mean, I think when you get to a certain point with a guy, with an artist, you can't just say, "Oh, he's a trash artist." Like there are redeeming qualities to like a Justin Bieber, even though I don't think he's a great artist. But I'm sure Ed Sheeran had, like, everyone had, like, at this point where he's made so many great songs that have charted, and it's not like this all of his songs are bad. There are some good songs as well, but it's sometimes just so mind-numbingly boring at points. And then we're gonna get to the worst part of it. Number 6. Number 6 collaborations project sounds like if DJ Khaled tried doing this, but didn't put any thought at all. He put Camila Cabello and Cardi B on the same song. We can just keep going. You have songs like "I Don't Care" and "Beautiful People," which have been all over the radio when they came out, and I didn't like them then. I still don't like them now. He has Stormzy and Travis Scott on a track like that would fit, you know. And it isn't like, you know how sometimes they would do these crossovers, like Travis Scott, I think, has had like Stevie Wonder on a track, but he's only there for like a certain section. That's not what happens here. And yes, Remember the Name is pretty good, but it just doesn't fit. And then you have like a track with Young Thug that doesn't work. And then, oh, look at this. You have a track with Meek Mill and a Boogie with a Hoodie, which doesn't work. And Skrillex, okay, fine, Blow's good. Blow it. You know what? I'll give it to you. Blow is very good. I like that song. The one with Chris Stapleton and Bruno Mars. But those are the artists you should be collaborating with, because it's not going to work unless you're in a posse cut with another artist. It usually doesn't work unless you're on, like, how it's to speak of Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars was on a Bad Meets Evil song, and he was amazing on it because he was only in that chorus. The same thing with Nate Ruess and Eminem. And I'm sure you could look at so many other people like ODB and Mariah Carey did a song, and Busta Rhymes and Mariah Carey's done other songs, and those have worked. But at this point, when you go, it's just like, okay, you need to stop trying to be DJ Khaled, because no one likes DJ Khaled. Really, no one likes DJ Khaled. Stop trying to imitate what he does. Number 6 to me was such a letdown of a project. He could have came out and did these very thoughtful and inspirational tracks with Chris. A track about him and with Chris Stapleton about him like drinking. I would listen to that. You know, like, not like an almost like a Vice sort of thing, because Chris Stapleton has put out like the best alcohol themed track like of that year with Tennessee. I don't know when it came out. Hold on, I don't know when it came out. It was on Traveler. It was I can't tell you actually, but it was you know what I mean, like, you know what I don't, like with Tennessee Whiskey. it was one of those things where you had all these parts that could have worked together. Okay, the song with Khaled wasn't great, but fine. Khaled's a great. I think I like his singing. Um, then again, but I like his singing. Um, you have Khaled there. You have Justin Bieber, which again, it doesn't. It's not something that works, but it's the same sort of artist. Camila Cabello. You had. I'm gonna pull that up again because I kind of take it off. I got took it off. You had you had her on there. You had Bruno Mars. You had Chris Stapleton. You had all these tracks that could have worked together. You had all the ingredients, but you just didn't season it and played it right. I've been watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares. You just put you had all the ingredients, but you just didn't put everything together. And to me, that's frustrating. It's frustrating to listen to an artist who kind of drew everyone in with, oh, I'm kind of alternative. I'm just a guy with a guitar, to these major projects that are at best, in my opinion. And to me, Ed Sheeran is what you call not an industry plant, but is someone who has been so affected by the industry that he's in that I don't know if there's a lot of other stuff. Hopefully, with Afterglow, which, yes, sounds a little bit more like what he used to do. Hopefully, with Afterglow and with whatever the track, whatever the album is he's going to come out with, hopefully it kind of goes back to that plus sort of man with a guitar, folky kind of thing. But I don't know. I don't think so. But do you think I'm out of line for saying this? Do you think that oh, and by the way, let me just clear something. I know this takes talent, by the way. Like, I know what he does, and it's different from what other artists do. I know whatever he's a good guitarist. Like, I know what he does takes a lot of talent. Like, making pop music is very difficult because making a music that everyone would like basically is what pop music is. Uh, so I'm not like slating him on that. I've said this. I've said it. I think in earlier in the video when I was like, "This dude's talented," and I think that's what's most frustrating to me because you can see the talent to make those folky bangers. It's two words that don't seem to go together, but make those folky tracks that really work. But to me, sometimes, I think he's fallen short of that. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Am I out of line for picking on Ed Sheeran? Are there other people that are due of picking on besides that more than Ed Sheeran? It was more sort of frustration because I actually I like some of his music. All in all, let me know in the comments below. This has been Music Banter. I have been your host, Ben Holkman. Take care and peace.